Well, hi, and welcome to today's music streaming workshop. This is a very short workshop hosted by yours truly, Mike Warner. We're going to go through a lot in 30 minutes or less, which is a challenge because usually this goes for multiple hours. So bear with me, let's dive straight in. Really quick introduction. My name is Mike Warner. I'm an independent artist. I've been in music for as long as I can remember, most of my life. I've been a producer, I've been a DJ, I've hosted radio shows. Anything you can think of, I've at least attempted it or I've done it and I've lived it. I'm also the author of the book Work Hard, Playlist Hard. And I've written two books so far directly towards artists, sharing all of the things that I've learned throughout my journey and just trying to put out good, helpful, safe information for artists. And that's why I'm here today. And at any point, if you want to connect with me, you can do so at Ask Mike Warner. But let's jump straight into the very first platform, which is Amazon Music. And so Amazon Music have a number of different features that I'd love to highlight. The first thing that you need to do is get access to Amazon Music for Artists at artists.amazon.com. Once you do that, there's things that you can do, such as connecting your Twitch channel to Amazon Music, which allows you to go live directly within Twitch and Amazon Music at the same time, essentially reaching double the audience because you're going live across both platforms. And here's another example of what that looks like directly within the app. Another thing that you can do with Amazon Music is you can create your own merch store. You can do this by signing up at merch.amazon.com, and I'll include notes at the end of this, so don't feel like you need to write down every one of these URLs. But merch.amazon.com is where you can upload an image you've perhaps already created, a graphic, a logo, and you can make it available a number of different ways. You could sell it direct from your own warehouse. You can have Amazon print and ship on demand as well. And there's also an integration now that if you connect Bands in Town with Amazon Music, you'll be able to share your merch on Bands in Town as well. So when people are looking at upcoming concerts from you, they can also purchase merchandise in advance. One key feature that I really want to cover with Amazon Music is getting people to follow you. The reason that I say that is that everyone that follows you, you have the potential to reach them with a push notification directly to their mobile device, their tablet, their computer if their web browser has notifications enabled, and even their Alexa enabled device in their house. Now, the first step is, of course, encouraging fans to follow you. And the next step is going into Amazon Music for Artists and submitting that upcoming song prior to release so that Amazon know to send out a push notification on release day to all of your followers. It's a great way to reach all of your followers where they are. You know, if they have an Alexa device in their house, the first thing in the morning they do is they hear their notifications and they'll be told that you've got a new song they can listen to. Another thing you can do with Amazon Music is create a spotlight. Now, this is a personal voice message that will appear at the top of your artist profile in Amazon Music. Definitely worth doing this because it's a way to speak directly to your fans and perhaps new fans that have just discovered your music. You can welcome them to your artist profile and let them know that Amazon Music is one place that they can also discover your music. Now, I'm going to jump ahead through a few of these platforms very quickly. The next one is Hangami, and you can sign up for access at creators.hangami.com. Even if you're not familiar with some of these platforms, I encourage you to claim your artist profile and just start to have a presence on all of these platforms because you want to reach people where they listen. Hangami have a way that you can pitch music to playlists as well. So you can pitch for editorial playlist consideration. And it's fun because they actually give you a number of opportunities to pitch and you can pitch music that's already been released. So if you sign up today, you can go in and pitch some recent releases for consideration. And they even ask you which playlist you think the music would be best suited to. Now, obviously, if that pitch is successful, you can get a notification directly from the app if you download it onto your mobile phone as well. Moving on to Apple Music. And artists.apple.com is where you sign up to get access. And let's look at some of the features. One of them is that you can add a very detailed profile for an artist. You can include a lot of details such as hometown, where you were born, I should say when you were born if you choose, biography, and there's even a Q&A section where they give you some questions that you can just fill out the answers to, and this populates on your artist profile. It's definitely worth doing, and it's a great way to keep fans on your profile for longer and let them learn something unique about you and your music. The next one is Apple Motion. So as you can see here, there's a number of different platforms where this can be seen, whether it's on your television in the Apple Music app, whether it's on your computer in Apple Music, or on your phone or tablet. And Apple Motion is, as the name may suggest, it's movement. It's something to capture people's attention at the top of the artist profile, but also on album artwork. As you can see in this example here, just a very, very subtle effect. Just creating some movement to keep people engaged. A lot of people look before they listen, so having visuals and having movement is extremely important to get them to press that button and press play, and then give them something to look at while they're listening as well. Apple Music also provide these really cool cards for social media called milestones. These are shareable images that you can post directly to your socials, and they come in a variety of different formats and they can be customized. And Apple Music have created more social cards that you can also share. These custom assets can be created, as you can see from the screen. You can change the color, you can change the size and dimensions, and you can get these emailed directly to you or download them so they're ready to post. And here's just another look at the ways that you can customize those. And then in the Apple Music for Artists app on your phone, this is just showing how simple the process is for sharing a milestone card, as you can see in this example just there on that side. Now, I am going quick, so you may want to watch this back later, by all means, and just remember that there will be notes. That's why I'm not going to tell you every URL and all of the steps in this short presentation. Next up, I wanted to highlight this feature, Apple Music Sing. This uses the continuity camera if you have an iPhone and the Apple TV Apple Music app. What this does is it allows fans to have their face in the music video, dancing around, doing whatever they like, with the lyrics on the screen in real time. So basically having karaoke in your lounge room using Apple Music and having your video included on the screen as well. So right now, the best way to make sure that you're set up for this is uploading your lyrics through a service such as Musixmatch, Musixmatch, yes, exactly how I spelt it, to make sure that you are set up for this new feature and reaching fans in a fun way when they're doing karaoke in their lounge room. The next one I wanted to point out is the importance of people favoriting an artist in Apple Music. When you favorite an artist, two very cool things happen. Well, actually more than two, but the main ones are, once people favorite an artist and they go to the home screen in the Apple Music app and they scroll down, all of the favorite artists will be there highlighted on the home screen, right there, every time they open the app. The other thing that will happen is notifications will be sent from the app directly to those people that have favorited the artist. And there may be additional things in the future, such as programming on Discovery stations and things like that. So it's definitely worth encouraging fans to go and favorite the artist in Apple Music. And here's just a quick example of how you can share the favorite card to encourage people to add you to their favorites within Apple Music, and you can post these cards directly to social media. As you can see, they're already created for you. They've used your artist image that you've uploaded and given permission to do so, and you tap share, and it's ready for you to post on socials. Okay, next up is Deezer. And so with Deezer, you can sign up for access at creators.deezer.com. And one of the features that we can see here is the ability to share a highlight. This is shown at the top of the artist profile on Deezer, and you can highlight one recent release and one release from your catalog, and you can choose how long you want both of those to show at the top of the artist profile in Deezer. One example is if there's a specific holiday, you may want to highlight a release that you put out some time ago because it's relevant right now relating to that specific holiday. And as you can see here, there's also the opportunity to post a very, very short status update or a message at the top of the artist profile. Some artists have used this to include promo codes for pre-sales for concerts. Some artists have done it to just simply share cryptic clues as to when they may release their next track or album as well. It's totally up to you. It's limited to about 64 characters right now, so they're encouraging you to keep it to text only and very short and sweet. Next up is JioSaavn. And JioSaavn has over 160 million subscribers. Honestly, probably a lot more right now, but last time I checked, that was the number. And JioSaavn Artist 1 is where you can sign up. artists.jiosaavn.com. And one of the features that they have available for artists to utilize is shorties. Now, this may look familiar. It's a short visual loop up to 15 seconds long that will take up the entire screen when people are listening to the song on their phone using the app. Another thing that you can do once you've signed up is you can create 2 official playlists as the artists themselves. The first one is Artist Hits, which, as I'm sure you can appreciate, is made up entirely of music from the artists themselves. So catalog, discography, greatest hits, whatever you choose, it's created by the artist featuring only their own music. The next one is called Made By, which is basically a playlist of songs from the artist and similar artists that they would like to highlight as well. And personally, I feel like it could be renamed to Curated By, to be clear, but they are the 2 playlists that you can create and have them featured at the top of your artist profile in the app as such. So as we can see in this example here, Artist Hits, Date Night, curated by the artist, Date Night is at the top of the profile there. Next up is Pandora. And Pandora is US-based only available in the United States, but currently has over 60 million monthly listeners. So wherever you are in the world, if you're wanting to reach people in the United States, this is a platform that you need to pay attention to. And wherever you are in the world, everyone will still get access to Pandora's artist marketing platform. Excuse me, we got cut off there. Everyone will still get access to Pandora's artist marketing platform. Now let's look at some of the key features from this platform as well. So the first one, and personally my favorite, is featured tracks. So Pandora allow you to feature multiple tracks. You can feature up to 6 tracks per year, 8 weeks per track. So quick math, 48 weeks out of the year, you can have one song featured within Pandora. Now, a featured track means that they are taking that track and they are putting it in their radio programming or endless listening modes, if you will. Basically, people are listening to similar artists or a station of music similar to yours, and your music is getting delivered to them in that process. Pandora are looking for feedback from this in the form of people giving a thumbs up, people listening to the song in its entirety. As you can see from the example on the screen, by simply submitting this track as a featured track, it gained 3,752 featured spins or featured streams, if you will. So that's an additional 3,752 people that listen to that song just by featuring the track. Now, featured tracks in Pandora is free. There's no payment. There's no approval process. The only qualifier is that the song has to have 10 streams in the last 7 days and has to have been released in the last year. So if you've got a song that you've released in the last year and 10 people have listened to it in the last week, you can choose to feature that track right now and it will get put in front of a larger audience. At the very least, you will get some extra streams or spins on that. And best case, you could get a significant amount of new fans. But it's definitely worth doing. It's my favorite feature. It's the easiest thing you can do in Pandora. Next up is reporting. So a lot of you may not have access to the Pandora app. And so this allows you to see how many streams you're getting on each of your tracks and where those streams are coming from as well. Pandora also have these really cool notifications to let you know what's happening with your music on the platform. So as you can see, there's a bunch of different things here. There's emails that get sent out. You can log into the artist marketing platform dashboard and see any new programming ads. You can get notified of cool milestones, such as the example on the screen for the Million Streams Club as well. You can also create artist audio messages. So these are voice messages that you can record from the Pandora app on your phone, or you can record elsewhere and upload them in app on your computer. But you can choose to play these before or after a song, and you can use this to tell people about an upcoming show. You could use these to tell people about an upcoming album. You could even create a playlist in Pandora and direct people to that. I've seen artists use this and get really specific. You'll see on the screen here, there's an option that says localize it. You can choose exactly where in the United States you would like that message to be heard. So if you have an upcoming concert in New York City, you may only want people in New York State to hear that message and know that you're performing, so that you don't have people from, say, California hearing that you have an upcoming show in New York. And you can create multiples of these and have them running. And it's a great way to reach fans in a specific location and promote concerts as well. And another thing that Pandora have that I want to highlight is stories. So if you see yourself as somewhat of a curator, and honestly, I encourage all artists to at least create one playlist so that they can place their own music amongst similar music. But Pandora shows some really detailed numbers for you as a curator. You can create stations, which they refer to as mixtapes, and you can create playlists. As you can see here, you will see how many people are listening by day. You can also go and see how many people are listening by device, and also data relating to gender and general age as well, to get you an idea of the audience that is listening. And you can see here broken down by geographic regions. You can also include search tags and browse tags for extra discovery. And honestly, discovery in Pandora is really strong for a curator. You may find that you start to actually have some very nice numbers of people coming directly to what you've curated yourself, which if you're an artist and you curate a station or a playlist, it's the best thing that you can have, because people can come directly to your programming and hear your music within there. And then you can also see skip rates and completion rates. Basically, if someone skips the song within the first 30 seconds of listening, or if they listen to more than 75% of the song, that's a completion. Next up is SoundCloud. Artists.soundcloud.com. This was revamped in early 2023 and they continue to add new features. Some of these include a new dashboard, and this dashboard here will show you all of the streams that you're getting across various platforms. There's also cool opportunities to pitch for things such as SoundCloud Radio on SiriusXM. So as you can see here, there's a dashboard that is available for artists where you can pitch for various opportunities. One of them is the SoundCloud station on SiriusXM, which is all hip hop and rap. But if you fall within other genres, there's also opportunities to pitch to BPM Supreme and Beat Source, which are used by a large number of DJs, so they will have access to your music to be able to play it in their sets as well. Next up is Spotify. Now, I know a lot of people are familiar with Spotify and Spotify for Artists, so I'm going to dive into some features that I feel may be less commonly known, because Spotify hosts a series of very detailed masterclasses, and their Spotify for Artists blog has a lot of information as well. But artists.spotify.com is where you sign up and get access. Once you get in, there's a number of different things that you can do, such as pitching for editorial playlists, linking your Songkick profile to showcase concerts, etc. But here's some features that are less commonly known. This one is Spotify Codes. Created by Spotify, but they put it on a separate website called spotifycodes.com. These are codes that people can grab their phone and they can point it at the code, and it will go directly to that song, artist, album, podcast, audiobook, playlist, etc. in Spotify. So the way that it works is people would open up the Spotify app on their phone, they would tap the little search button, and then they would point their phone directly at the code and it will launch straight into that piece of content. And I don't like referring to music as content, but we're also talking about playlists and audiobooks and everything that Spotify has. And there's an example on the right there of a Spotify code that was printed on a hat, which I thought was pretty cool. And also another example here, I probably could have taken a better photo, but you can see the sign that says "Birds Are Real." Behind that was a Spotify code spotted in the wild. The other one I wanted to share is Spotify promo cards. The website is promocards.byspotify.com. And as you'd expect, these are promo cards that you can share on social media. You can customize these. You can highlight an artist, or you can highlight a milestone, as you can see the example here, reaching 25,000 followers. And there's other ways that you can use these to highlight a new song, highlight that an artist is on Spotify, or even share an upcoming concert if you've connected your Songkick profile to your Spotify profile. Another thing that I wanted to share was a really unique case that I saw. This was some time ago, of course, but I still feel like it's a great and very relevant example. Beyonce, upon releasing the single Break My Soul, actually also sold the MP3 file through Spotify. So this is done with the Spotify and Shopify integration. And as you can see on the right-hand side here, it was sold directly from the Spotify profile using that integration and setting it up. So if you're thinking that you can't sell MP3s on Spotify, Beyonce is proving that you can. And as we know, what you get paid for an MP3 file is different than what you get paid from a stream. So I highly encourage you to check this out as well. And then moving on, one thing I wanted to highlight, that this is just something that a lot of people aren't as familiar with, is Spotify have studio spaces all around the world where you can go in and you can book it and you can use it for free. Obviously, they are popular, but you'll be able to see availability on the website. I've included the URL above for you. But I just feel like it's something that not a lot of people are aware of, and it's definitely worth highlighting. Next up, we have Tidal. So on the right-hand side here is an example of going live in Tidal. Basically, I won't go through the full process here. And of course, let me just stop that. Yeah, the reason I won't let that play is I can't turn down the music on that video. But essentially, you can go live in Tidal if you have a subscription. And when you go live, anyone that joins in and listens is counting as an additional stream. So if you go live in the Tidal app, which you can do when you're playing music, and actually, let me just show you from the start. You start playing down the bottom, and then you will tap the live button in the top right corner, and then you will go live. Now, once you do that, anyone can join that live stream at any time. It's purely music. There's no talk at this time, but I've seen artists do this on release day, go live, play their album start to finish on Tidal, and have a large amount of fans tuning in and listening, which means that you had a large amount of people listening at the same time, and every individual person counts as a stream. And because it's paid listeners only, the stream royalty rate is significantly better than free listeners. So it's well worth doing. The next thing with Tidal is they have Tidal Artist Home, also known as Tidal for Artists, but essentially this gives you full access to a number of different features that they're rolling out right now. First things first, you can get in and upload an artist image. You can add a biography. You can add social media accounts as well. And you can also report any inaccurate content. So if you have a song that is on someone else's profile, or someone's song is on your profile and you want it removed, you can report that here to make sure everything looks correct on Tidal. And here's just some examples of what an artist profile looks like as well. And next up, I will jump ahead here. In the interest of time, there's a number of platforms I wish I had time to cover, but we only have 30 minutes. So the last thing I'll touch on is lyrics. I mentioned this earlier in the presentation. Lyrics are incredibly important. They really help with discovery. In the apps that people are listening on, they'll be able to search by typing the lyrics. They may not even know the song title, but they can type the lyrics or speak or sing part of the lyrics, maybe even hum them. And there's a number of different ways that people can actually discover you. The obvious one is they type the lyrics in the search bar in their favorite streaming app, but they can also find you from Google search results as well. So I know some artists where they've had fans reach out and say that they weren't even looking for that artist or that song. They just typed some words into Google and it happened to be part of their lyrics. And as a result, they went and checked out the song and they became a fan of the artist. So definitely worth adding your lyrics. And once again, you can do that at musicsmatch.com. And last couple of screens here as we wrap up. Shameless plug, my book is out worldwide, paperback, audiobook, and ebook. Feel free to scan the QR code and check it out. If you're interested in the audiobook, obviously it's in Audible and other places, but I also uploaded it on YouTube so you can listen for free. I want to make my books as accessible as possible and available. So if you ever are trying to find a copy of the book, feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to help you out with getting a copy as well. For anyone that does speak Spanish, there is also a Spanish version of the book as well here. Playlistlibro.com is where you can find that. And lastly, links to all things that I've created, all things that I've shared. Workhardplaylisthard.com is the main blog. At Ask Mike Warner is my social media handle, and feel free to scan the QR code to find all of the links to everything I've mentioned here and ways that you can contact with me, and please feel free to reach out. I know that we've covered a lot in a very short amount of time. Hope I brought you a lot of value, and thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your experience here at NAMM.